Good morning, good morning. We are doing a different view today for our live, and I'm hoping I've got my camera right. I've been having some technical difficulties trying to get it right for you guys so you have a good view of what we're doing. So today we have visited our local Hobby Lobby, and we went over to the floral department and we picked up this really cute clay pot, and it was $1.99. And this one is the 11 centimeter 4.3 inch clay pot. You can get a bigger one if you want and make this topiary a little bit bigger. It's up to you. We went over to the floral, and this is your floral foam, and it was, let's see, what was the price of it? It was $3.99, and it is actually tapered to fit into the clay pot perfect. And this is a 3.6 centimeter inch. So if you want to, go find your clay pot, and then you're going to go ahead and go find your foam and take it right over there to make sure you get the right size. And then, of course, we're going back to our Waverly chalk, and this is the one that we picked up at Walmart, and this is your Snow White acrylic paint matte finish, no prep. Super easy. And I'm not for sure if we're going to use this or not because, remember, we're just winging it. I didn't pre-make this. And right now, your silks are half off, and you're going to go ahead and go over and pick your olive bush, and it's $11.99 full price, and right now it is half off. And we may use our twine, so grab your twine. And of course, in any of our projects that we've used prior, we've already got our Spanish moss. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and clip this tag off. I've already taken our tag, or our foam cover off of that one. Let's set all these other things, and you're going to need your little pinchers to go ahead and get your wire trimmers. You're going to need some scissors if we use twine, and of course our handy dandy glue gun. Okay, boys and girls, and let's grab a plate, and we're going to shake this up a little bit. And if you want to, you can go ahead and get some gloves on if you would like, so you don't get paint all over your hands. That's totally up to you. I've got some paint in the bottom of this, so I'm going to go ahead and I am just going to go to town. I have my dryer close by just in case we need to grab it, but I don't think we will, just because I think with it being a clay pot, it's going to absorb that paint and dry really fast. So as you go, just take your paintbrush, and again, we're using that newer one. And if you watched my little video yesterday on our rustic blueprints, little cute project our gals got sent in the mail. I like older paintbrushes that have stiffer brushes in them. Okay, and then when you get to the top, you're just going to go ahead and keep going around and around. And you can make this little topiary clay pot as rough as you want. If you want to take some sandpaper to it, if you want to not give it a complete coat, you can just keep going along with your paintbrush strokes and get it to the look that you are wanting. And I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this here. And I'm going to make sure that we go at least to the rim, the top of it. Because when we get our foam piece in here, as you guys know, our Spanish moss is going to cover all that up. So there's no need to paint on the inside. That's just a waste of your time, a waste of your paint, and neither one of those we have time for. So go ahead and put your hand back in there, and you may get a little bit of paint on your hands, which is okay. It does wash off. It's not so friendly on your clothes. Just remember that. Okay. Thinking that looks pretty good. And some of the clay pots may have a little more rough edges, so you may take a little bit more time to get in those little divots that's in the clay pot because they're not all perfect. I would make sure when you're buying them, do look the clay pots over very well because they will get a hairline crack in them, and you definitely don't want to get one of those and take it home and it breaks on you. I'm sure they would maybe do something and maybe not. I don't know what their policy is, but look over the clay pots. Sometimes they come in cracked. Sometimes it's just customers not taking care of and not being careful with the product that they're looking at. So again, we're just going to set these off to the side, and I do not have my Dawn dish soap container waiting for my paintbrush. So got to hurry up and go upstairs and clean this out. Let's set this off to the side. And I'm thinking this looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take that dryer. I'm just gonna make sure that that is dry. Okay, so we're gonna try this. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. We're gonna just wing it, you know. And we're gonna go ahead and get that dark wax kill sealant, if I can get it open. And this is, I've only been able to find this on Amazon, so go to our Amazon link in some of our prior messages. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna dab that little makeup brush that we bought on Amazon. And again, you can't find these anywhere else. And we're just gonna go ahead and we're just going to rough this up and we're gonna smooth this out. And we're gonna grubby up this pot. And if you want to, just use your hand, because this will wash off, and just keep moving this around side by side and just grub that baby up. And then just keep pulling and smoothing that out. It is a wax. And it does not take very much. It's just a little bit of a love tap in that container. So do remember that. It's not thick. It's real thin. And you can always get a rag if you get too much in a spot and use that rag to wipe it off. Or get a paper towel. And if you want it really grubby, just keep adding on top of it to make it look older. So I like that look. How about that, you guys? Again, we're just winging it. We're all just playing together this morning. We are super excited about our DIY rustic blueprints. If you did not see our video that I pre-recorded, go back and watch it from last night. If you like what you saw out of our first one we mailed out, go to our website and find rustic blueprints in the boxes and subscribe today. It is a monthly subscription, so you will get a different, there's not always going to be a door hanger. It may be something that will sit on your shelf. It may be something that will sit outside. You never know what you're going to get. It's always a surprise, and you will get a tutorial each time with every project that you get, a walkthrough, so you're not just making something on your own. We just wanted something a little bit special for you guys, a little more something in depth that you can't get here doing our little cute little live videos, and something with inside of the rustic patch. I'm really liking that look. I really like the grubby. And remember, you could just keep going over and over, because that wax is going to, it will eventually just partially dry, and you can add over on top of it and just keep making it go. Just super cute. Okay, I like that. How are you guys feeling about that? You like that? Okay, so let's just go ahead and let's set that down very carefully. And remember, always put your lid on this because it will dry out. We do not want that to want that to happen, because this was, I can't remember, maybe it was $18, $20. But if you've noticed, we have done a lot of craft projects and we've hardly used any, and there is some paint in there. So let's get that out. We've hardly used any of this. So this is a very good investment, because you never know when you're going to want to use this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to take our handy dandy glue gun, and we're going to take a little bit of our glue, and we're going to go right around the edges, and you'll hear that crackle pop like Rice Krispie treats, and we're going to set that right in there. See? And I got some glue on the side. So it's sitting there perfect. And you see if you have a little bit of a lip, which is okay, because we're going to cover that with Spanish moss. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your olive bush that we have purchased, and remember, it was $11.99, and they are half off right now. And they had a pretty good bundle here in Kearney, so go check it out and see what you got. So I'm going to say I'm going to trim this off just a little bit, probably at those nubs right here, and just take those, and I would take one at a time. You don't want to pull any muscles. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just poke those right in there. and just keep pushing down till you get about right there. Actually, we're going to cut a little bit more off. And you can get your topiary bush as close as you want to that pot or as higher. But I would highly suggest to leave this part together so it holds it together, because you don't want it to come apart. And if you have to take this out a few times just to get it the way you want, it's okay, because you can put some glue in that foam right there when you put that in there to make it stay secure. I'm thinking I liking that. It's got about the right height as you're gonna want, because remember, we're gonna put some Spanish moss in here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put some glue right there so it's holding it. And when you are buying these, make sure when you go to Hobby Lobby and you pick one of these bushes out, double check to make sure they have each of the little sprigs in there, because sometimes when people are looking them, they're not very gentle, and some pieces get broke off and you don't know till you get home, and I don't want you to have a sad looking topiary plant that someone was not being kind when they were shopping. So always double check your silks when you're shopping. The next thing you're going to do, especially if you're buying sunflowers, good golly, because those sunflowers, they pop off. And I've done this before, so I'm speaking with experience here, people. Okay, so this is something really cute, super easy for your house. This can go up on your mantle. It can go on your coffee table. And this Spanish moss, sometimes it's easier just to get a pair of scissors and cut that Spanish moss out of that package instead of just pulling, because some of the packages are, it's just how they're packaged. So, and it's messy. It is so messy. But I love Spanish moss because it just gives it texture. And it's not going to take very much. So if you're one that does not use a lot of Spanish moss, don't go buy the big bag. But I go through quite a bit of it myself. So I did buy the bigger bag. So just use your judgment. And who knows, you may get a DIY box where we're going to need some Spanish moss. So if you want to get more bang for your buck, go ahead and buy the big bag now. And that way you've just got it. Okay, so our Spanish moss has been all set in there. And see, I even did this myself. I pulled one of these off and I don't know where it even came from. I think it came down from here, but I'm not for sure. Well, I will find it when we're done with this video before I take it. I may just put this upstairs. I think it's super cute. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Either we can leave the topiary just like this, or we can put some twine around it. You know me and my twine. It's kind of my signature. I just really like twine. Gives it that country flair. So let's go ahead and let's just do, let's do this. And we're going to wrap it, maybe. We'll see. And this is where you may have to put a little bit of a glue spot just to hold it. We're going to wrap it and see if we like it. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. We may just leave it plain, guys. Oh, come on. Silly twine. Does not want to cooperate this morning. Okay, well, fine. We're going to put twine on it. So we're going to take a little bit of glue. And we're going to hold it right there until it sets. So we just have somewhere where it's going to just hold. And sometimes you may not find where this came from. I'm sure we can. I just have to be patient. Now, if my mom was here, she'd say, it's right here, daughter. Mom's very good at this. We've had lots of silk things that come in and they lose a piece here and there, and Mom usually finds out where it needs to go. Okay, so the other thing is, if you're going to go ahead and do this, you may want to have to put another piece on the other side, another glue spot, just to hold it where you want it. But then also, too, if you're like me, it's like, I don't want glue to be shown on this side. So just keep going round and round and keep weaving it up. And I think it'll be okay. And just keep pulling it tight. And then as we go, we'll just keep going along. And as if you see right there, just pull that up. And we'll go around and see if we can wing that up there. I like to say the word wing a lot, if you guys will find that out. Because most of the time we're just winging it. Okay, we're just going to keep going around and around. We're going to make a nice thick twine ribbon around here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You can wind it up, you can wind it down. And if it looks really bad in the back, who cares? Because no one's going to see it anyway. It's just for you guys. Or if you're going to give it as a gift, it's character. Okay, now where we started, let's go ahead and let's just tie a knot. And we're going to hold it really tight. We're going to do it again. And if you want to, like I said, go ahead and put some glue there. We're going to put a little glue there anyway because we're going to put our bow there. If you would rather put ribbon, or if you'd rather put raffia, if you are a raffia person and you're not a twine person, just put a big old raffia bow there. And if I had my buttons here, I would for sure put a button there. But I didn't bring any buttons today. I should just keep a container of buttons here at my workstation at the house. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to spread that out. And I would definitely spread it out before you glue it. You can always retuck in and out wherever you need once you get it glued. But I always kind of like to see how my bow is going to be, especially when you are winding that around. Sometimes you get it off-centered. And this is a good way to be able to make sure you have your bow perfect before you glue it to your surface. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. Remember, if you're making a bow, you can make your twine bow as big or as small as you want, but why make a small bow? Go big or go home, right? I will take a picture of this and we will post it where it's looking really cute. And there you go. There is your morning live little craft project, and we made a topiary, and we've got, this was $11.99, so half off. There's 6, 7, 8. If you already got this in there, I mean, you have a cute little craft project you made for yourself in your house for under $10. There you are, guys. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this. This will be on our YouTube video. So share. You can use this video, this live video, on our Facebook page. Share it with your friends and send them over to our YouTube video and our YouTube channel. Subscribe and see some fun things that we're doing. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go, since we have this view, I'm going to go this way and say, see you guys later. Bye.